Everybody's sports are fucking going crazy right now. And we got to mention playoff hockey when we talk crazy fucking sports from a crazy fucking guy, Tradon. Let us hear it.
Thank you for that intro. So we're just going to quickly go through the recap of these series here. Starting at the East, we have the Flyers versus the Canadiens. Flyers are up 3-1 in the series. James, I think I tasked you to check this one out. I know that you were very interested in this series. You said that to me, I believe, when we were on our little trip on the weekend. So tell me what you think about this series so far.
I think so far the series has been very, very, very close. I think everybody here in this little chat in our podcast had the Flyers absolutely dominating the Canadiens, and that has not been the case. Just in terms of goal differential, the Canadiens are actually up by 1 because of that game too, where they had 5 goals. The biggest thing is that the Canadiens have a lot of penalties. If they can cut that down, I think they'll be in a better position to win. I mean, Carey Price is still doing amazing as it is. And the Canadiens are outshooting the Flyers 112-103 for the series. A little fact is that teams that have a 3-1 lead have a 90.6 chance of winning the series, but I think the Habs could be that 9.4% that will come back and win. So go Canadiens.
I'd love to agree with you. I'm not. The games that I've seen, you are absolutely right in that the games have been close in terms of scoring. If you watch the way the Flyers have been playing, they are completely dominating the middle of the ice. The Montreal Canadiens just have not been able to. They haven't been able to score in 2 games. I mean, 5 goals in 1 game, that's fantastic, but they haven't been able to get anything on the board for 6 periods. They're getting completely swallowed up, and the Flyers are just taking their time, finding their opportunity and striking. Kevin Hayes has been a huge leader on the squad, and their stinker. And in my opinion, their stinker game 2 was just a bad game. I expect the series to be over tomorrow, but I hope that you're right in that they can make it a series, because I would love to see Montreal upset the Flyers, but I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. Moving on to the Capitals and Islanders. After a crazy game today, the Capitals did not get swept. The Islanders lead the series 3-1. Alex, I have you checking this series out. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think this is one of the only ones that, as a consensus, we were really fucking wrong. I think we picked the Capitals with their big names to come through this series. Maybe not quite as we predicted. Obviously, the Islanders have been fucking killing it. But at the same time, the Washington Capitals, their big boys have been scoring. Oshie's got 3. Kuznetsov has got 2. Ovi's got 2. Ovi scored another 2 tonight. The real problem with the Washington Capitals is the netminder in Braden Holtby. He is not playing very well. If Braden Holtby turns into 2017, 2018 Holtby when they won the Cup, they could be a team that comes back from 3-0. I don't think it will happen, but if they get the consistent goaltending that Holtby has shown in the past, I think they do have a chance. Their firepower on offense is just too much. John Carlson, a possible, best defenseman in the league right now.
Oh, he's
really
amazing.
Also, he's great. He needs to show. He's got 4 points. If he and Ovi and Kuznetsov, kind of the 3 big boys in that team, can show up, I think they have a chance. We talked about this last week, though. Barry Trotz might just swallow them up because he knows them. He's a great coach. That Islanders team reminds us of the Kings of, yesteryear, fucking whatever you want to say. I think it will end up going 6 now. I think the Capitals maybe get 1 more. I just don't know if they can beat the Islanders 3 more times.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. Interesting fact: the Islanders have lost 1 game, now 2, since entering the bubble. They're the only, and they've only allowed, they've only been 1 game that they've allowed more than 2 goals, except for today, I believe. But they're playing so tight, and they have the Corsi stats and the Corsi stats show that a lot of the shots for the Caps are staying on the outside perimeter, very similar to what you're seeing the Flyers do to the Canadiens. And you've seen the Capitals just look the big guys are looking completely lost. They can't figure it out. And literally the Islanders have, Varlamov and you could say Matt Barzal, who's amazing, who's actually probably the fastest guy in the league. Yes, I said that he is the fastest guy in the league. Adam Pelech has really helped shore up their defense as well. They're definitely in a better state when he's back there. I'll be honest. I think that with the Caps winning today, Game 5 will be their final game. I think that the Islanders are Barry Trotz has been everything that is as advertised, and the Capitals didn't sign him, and they're get slapped around for that one, I think. Next up, we have the Bruins versus the Hurricanes. One that is kind of making me sad here. We have the Bruins up 3-1. Tyler, what's going on here?
Yeah, well, I picked my Bruins to win it, and they're looking pretty good so far. The Game 4 was a turning point, in my opinion. I mean,
yes.
the Canes had them were winning 2-0 going to the third period. Bruins exploded for 4 goals in the third period. I mean, that's a tough one to come back from. I think the Bruins are going to win this 1-6. Obviously, the injury to Svechnikov for the Canes is huge for them.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that when I was watching Game 4, I thought, maybe this team's coming together from that injury, and they're going to, a lot of times with team sports, you can really come together with one of your key guys coming together with getting hurt, with great leadership. Sometimes that can, make your team better. And the Canes looked like that team the first 2 periods, but Bruins came back firing. I mean, they're getting the best out of their best players. Marchand's got 7 points in the series so far. In my opinion, I think the Bruins are just, they're killing it. The crazy thing with Tuukka Rask opting out of the season was pretty crazy. So there's a little bit of craziness going on with the Bruins goaltending situation. But I think Halak has stepped in, done a pretty solid job for them so far. I think the Bruins, after that Game 4 win, I see them winning this series in 6.
Yeah. Touching on Tuukka Rask real quick, I was the first one to say that I thought it was pretty crazy, and I was upset that he would do such a thing. But after hearing from someone close to him, it sounds like he actually has some family issues that he needed to handle. That's not official, but if that's the case, I think any of us on this panel would be opting out to go see our families if that was the case. I see the Hurricanes losing. I could see them losing in the next game. I can maybe see a 6 game. Hurricanes losing Svechnikov has just completely blown up their offense. That line was buzzing until he went down. Side note, Jack Edwards, the announcer for the Boston Bruins, is a fucking idiot. Piece
of scum.
I could go a whole podcast just talking about how much of an asshole he is, but I won't yet. Maybe later. I'll even write about that, I think. Boston has just owned the Corsi battle, and the perfection line is firing. Even with Pasta out, he's going to be back. They are just firing. Sorry, Canes. I really wanted you to go to the end, but I don't think you're going to. I will say this is interesting, that if the Hurricanes win tomorrow, I don't know if the Boston Bruins are going to continue playing Halak that many games straight. Are they going to have to go to Dan Vladar, who I don't even know who he is, or Maxime Legacy, who is not a very good goalie? It'll be interesting to see if they have to go to a backup, because I have no idea what they're going to do. Finally, we have the Bolts and Jackets up from the East. Again, a sad one for me. Series has the Bolts up 3-1. Eric, what do you think about this one?
Boy, did that 5 overtime game fuck the Jackets.
I agree.
2 methods. 1, because they lost it. 2, because, like we mentioned before, now you can see they got drained from that game. They lost some legs, lost a little pep to the step. Even though they did win the next game, you just see the Lightning. They're playing with a vengeance. They got depth. They're proving themselves. They're out skating, and they're hitting back on the Blue Jackets, which, the Jackets are going to do their thing. The Lightning are doing a little bit more of it. That's simple. Jackets did just lose a close one. I love seeing those post-game interviews with Tortorella. He's probably the best coach when a team loses. One of the questions, what aspects of your game need to change? Most of them. How much more offense do you need to step up? More. That guy's fucking great. I love how he, and if they take longer than like 20 seconds to ask him a question, he just gets up and leaves. It's great. You got to give the Lightning credit, though. They're playing hard. They're hitting back.
Yes.
More offense, more scoring. That's what wins games. Last thing I'll say is if anyone can come back, it's the Jackets and Tortorella. Just this next game, look for Werenski and Jones to just be playing their dicks off out there on the ice. And, I mean, Jones has been doing that the whole series. And that first game he played, I think Alex had like 60 minutes. It was insane. But, you know, every game now is an elimination game for them. So I think they actually kind of play better that way. I still got the Jackets coming out in 7 games.
Wow. I'd love to see that. I think the Jackets' lack of depth is really starting to catch up to them. Jones, Dubois, and Werenski just can't be playing this many minutes if they want to go forward. The Jackets are on, even though Stamkos hasn't even played a game, and that's scary. And that's scary for the Bolts going forward for any team that has to play them, because once Stamkos is back, watch out. I had thought that a team. A underdog losing a game like that is a huge blow. They came back and really had a great game too, and I thought that the Bolts gave up a huge opportunity to completely sweep the series. And I think that it gave at the time, I thought it gave the Jackets a chance to get back into it. When you have a guy dead to rights or a team dead to rights, you have to shove it down their throats, and they didn't. I will say that the Lightning has taken the place of the Jackets in meaning that they're playing the Jackets game. They're playing a boring game. They're playing a defensive game. They're learning how to hold leads, and it's frustrating. It's very boring, but it's effective. And that's how they're going to beat these Jackets, just beat them to a pulp. I hope you're right, though, and I love to see a Game 7 between those two teams, but we'll have to see. Shifting over to the West, we have Chicago versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Eric, I know you fucking hate the Vegas Golden Knights. That's why I gave this series to you. Right now, there's a minute 30 left, and it's 3-3. What is your thought about this series?
Yeah, the Vegas Golden Fucks versus the Chicago Trash Hawks. Let me just start by saying fuck them both, especially Vegas, because they swept my Kings. That's like why I have a big hatred for them. But shit, I bet money on the Blackhawks. They did show signs of life. I think that's like my most coined term with everything, showing signs of life. But maybe the Oilers just got bum rushed and weren't ready. That could be the case as well. But Vegas, they look like that fast-paced, score right when you gain momentum, frustrating team that they are. They surround the puck at all times. They score when it matters. It's just fucking so annoying to see them do well. Blackhawks are surprisingly the youngest team in the playoffs, besides the Tays, Kane, Duncan, Keith, and Crawford players. But they've been in pretty close games, believe it or not. They lost that game 2 overtime. Game 3, they lost by 1 goal. The first game, they got destroyed. And currently, they're in a 3-3 game, and the second period's about to end. So, every game has been pretty close. They need Crawford to play like he did in that game 4. They need Tays and Kane to show up like they did versus the Oilers. And they need the young bucks like Kubalik and DeBrincat to get the puck rolling. But guess what? That fucking happened on the second goal today. Kubalik to DeBrincat to get them up 2-0, right? Yeah, 2-0. They just need to keep getting in the back of the net. I bet that the Blackhawks would win. I'm just going to go with my heart, not my brain. Blackhawks in 7.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. This ends today. If you look at the Corsi stats, it's been utter domination. Crawford literally stole game 4. I mean, I'm sorry, he did. This looks very similar to the Avs, which Tyler, we're going to be talking about soon. I even, from a Corsi perspective, in terms of shot attempts, the Knights still owned the Hawks in that OT game. So their possession was there. Sorry, Eric. I know there was close, but I mean, the 5-on-5 stats speak for themselves, and it's clear. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. Yeah, you might squeeze out a game or two, but I just don't. I mean, this is a mismatch if I've ever seen one. In my opinion, it ends today. But I love to see more hockey, so let's see the Blackhawks win. More hockey's happy. Makes me happy. Avs Yotes. Avs are leading 3-1. Tyler, what do you think of this series?
It's over.
It's over.
It's over, guys. I mean, Avs have bbeen dominating this series. I mean, Nathan McKinnon,
Oh my
fucking
god.
stud, dude. I mean, this guy is just tearing up this Yotes defense. And let's give some props to Grubauer, their goaltender, who's been
Yeah. Oh,
a
yeah.
solid goaltender so far this series at a .933 save percentage. He's killing it as well. So yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to say. I mean, 7-1 in Game 4. It's over, boys. I mean, I think the Avs will win this 1 in 5.
Yeah, I agree with you. Look, I'm gonna repeat what I just said last series. Utter domination. I mean, they scored a touchdown and a PAT against the Yotes yesterday. The only game that Arizona won, the Avs dominated. It was a 92 shot attempt to 39 for Arizona. If you had not shown me the score, I would say that the Avalanche were winning 5-0. Darcy Kemper has been incredible, like unbelievable. And unfortunately, if you just rely on your goaltender, you're gonna be flushed down the toilet, and they're gonna be. Oh, and by the way, easily bona fide second best player on the planet is Nathan McKinnon, no doubt about it. Anybody can fight me if they disagree, because he absolutely is amazing.
He's still in the playoffs.
And he's a close first. Yeah, I'm not gonna say he's first, but he's close. And he is still in the playoffs. But yeah, you are absolutely right. It's over ASAP. Stars Flames. Stars, after a great game today, the Stars lead the series 3-2. James, what do you think of this one?
I think the series is going to end on Thursday here. I think the Stars take it. Initially, I had them going to 7, but after I've seen them play, I'm going to say 6. I think they've knocked off all the rust from the Red Robin play.
Yeah.
Because that Red Robin looked terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into this series, they've gotten better over time. They've straight up outshot the Flames. They have 249 to 185 shots over that.
Right.
And the biggest question mark going into this was the goaltending. During the season, they had a .92 save percentage, and during the playoffs, up until this game, they had a .896 save percentage. But today, I think Khudobin, he's going to regress to the norm. He's a solid goaltender, and after today, he's figured it out, and he brought it back up to .902. So once they've got that figured out, I think it all just falls into place, and I think the Stars will take it in 6.
I agree. Today, Flames gave up their lead to someone that we know very well, Joe Pavelski. Radulov finished off the comeback today. Look, the Flames are emotional. They're cheap. Kachuk is out of the lineup due to injury, and he's a big loss, even though he's a legit clown. This series has been decided by 1-goal games in 3 of the 4 games. I will say this series is tight because there is such little room for error in terms of those 1-goal games. So I could see this maybe going to 7, but I'm pretty sure the Flames have a campfire in the box, because that's all they are. That's all they fucking do. They're always in the box, and it's gonna eventually bite them in their hairy asses, and they're gonna be fucking done. So yeah, I think that six games is a pretty good guess. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to 7. And finally, in my opinion, the most intriguing series of the West, Canucks versus the Blues. The Blues tied the series 2-2 in their overtime thriller. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah, I agree with you. I was about to say that right before you. I think this is the most exciting series of round 1 so far. There have been 2 OT games. I believe that we picked the Canucks to win in 6 as a kind of consensus.
Except me.
I'm a little worried about that now. It looked real good for the first 2 games. My problem is the goal scoring for the Canucks has gone down for each game. So they went 5-3-2-1. They're not scoring as efficiently. They won that OT game. This could easily be a 3-1 series in favor of St. Louis. On the crazy side, these teams are actually, I think a lot of people think, okay, the Blues, they won the Cup last year. They should destroy the Canucks. Their regular seasons were not really that far off. On the power play percentage, the Blues are number 3, the Canucks are number 4. On the penalty kill, they were half a percentage off. They were very, very similar teams. Obviously, the Blues have a lot of players that won a cup because they just won last year. The Canucks have a bunch of players that came from the Kings that won a fucking cup. Bo Hobart is playing out of his mind. He leads the playoffs in goals right now. Quinn Hughes is tied with the most assists for the league right now. The Canucks feel like they should be winning this series, and they're not. I think it all comes down to who wins Game 5. Whichever team wins Game 5 is going to win this series. Because we picked the Canucks, I'm going to stick with them because I'm going to stick with my picks. But this one is tough. I could see it going 7. Another big shot for the Blues. Tarasenko was out. He had a shoulder injury all year. It got aggravated. He's out of the bubble. So at minimum, he's missing the rest of this first round series. That's a big hit. Tarasenko is probably the best player overall on that Blues team, at least the most offensive-minded player on that Blues side. Ryan O'Reilly might be the most complete player.
Oh, yeah.
He's up for a Selke, I believe. God, dude, fuck. This one's tough, but I'm going to stick with the Canucks. But I think, if you're a hockey fan, this is the series that you should be focusing on for the rest of round 1.
You're absolutely right. And here's what I'll have to say. Dun, 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 dun. The Blues have entered the bubble, ladies and gentlemen. It took a while for them to figure out their game, but they have arrived. And I'm going to use a little bit of a metaphor for the Canucks. I might be a little bit of an asshole here, but I'm going to use it anyway. The playoffs are like a classroom for these young players, but there's not much forgiveness when it comes to the classroom. I think that it's hard. I think the Canucks are learning that it's hard to win in the NHL and the playoffs. Newsflash. Classroom president Ryan O'Reilly has entered the room with his boys, David Perron and Jaden Schwartz, and took over Game 4. They badly outplayed Pettersson, Besser, and the Miller line. And those three know how to get it done. I think that Ryan O'Reilly, he may not win the Selke this year, but if he continues this, he's going to win another Conn Smythe if they go all the way through. For two of those guys on the Canucks, they've never played. This is their first playoff series, so they have a lot to learn. I will say this. I think that they're going to take their lickings this year. I think you're absolutely right. Game 5 is going to be more or less the deciding one. Although I do see the Blues finishing this out. But with that said, the Canucks are going to learn a lot from this. They're going to come back and be a team that everybody should be freaking worried about because they are a damn good team. They're a damn good hockey team. This would be a killer Game 7 if they made it that far. I just think that the Blues are just going to finish it up, and hopefully I'm right because I'm the only one who thought that. That is it for the hockey. By next week, we're going to know who's in the the semifinals. So we'll give you guys those breakdowns next week.
Yep, they grow up so fast. Those hockey playoffs.